Good evening, everybody. This is Lawfully Armed, joined by Fiend Dog and Justin B. We're going to be talking about SHOT Show. Throw it in the comments. What new product have you seen or heard of that excites you? We're going to try and aggregate the new releases, the noteworthy designs. Gen X Gemini in the chat. First one in. Good evening.
Tell you
I'll
what,
let y'all
oops, sorry.
go for it. I was going to say I'll let you guys go clockwise and
I was gonna say
what's
that
up.
that new PSA undermount shotgun is very interesting.
Go ahead, tell us about it.
Just what I saw was it's a shotgun that mounts to underneath the AR, but it's a short barrel shotgun. So it is an NFA item, but you don't have to pay the tax on it now.
Yeah,
Right.
but
Still have to do your ATF form 4.
here's the thing about PSA though. Their full size shotgun still isn't out, and they had that at SHOT Show 2 years ago.
Yep.
So just saying, I wouldn't hold my
Yeah.
breath.
Yeah, I hear you. I just saw the video about it. I thought it was pretty neat. That's all.
Yeah, it's a cool
Yeah.
concept. Though.
What were they calling?
I'd rather have my flamethrower under there, but that's just me.
That's a nice item too to have.
Yeah, especially with the backpack tank.
Yeah. What were they calling it? The PSA 570 because it's a hybrid of an 870 and a Mossberg 500.
Yeah, something like that.
Like it was a Mossberg. It was Mossberg receiver set, but like for furniture and stuff. But then it was 870 guts.
Yeah, it's kind of no way for them to be able to make it an under barrel without it going NFA. There's kind of
No, I'm wrong. That one from 2 years ago that never came to fruition. Really, it's It's mechanically a Mossberg 500 bolt. It looks like it might be Remington furniture because it uses that Magpul
no.
SGA stock.
It's got it's up by the pump.
Yeah, and that new one is probably, I don't know because I haven't seen the details on it. Mechanically, it's probably the same critter, just obviously no buttstock.
I'm just thinking to myself, there's nothing like having some double up buck from underneath your AR.
Popping open all these extra tabs so I can talk about this stuff.
They introduced that on YouTube, I think, like 4 days ago.
Yeah, I have seen the pictures of the underbarrel shotgun floating around. I have heard tease that they were going to go ahead and do, because tax stamps are, free, air quotes now, like you were saying, that they may bring back a 733, like the actual Colt Commando, the Car 15 with a real moderator, rather than having that faux moderator that just adds barrel length. If they were going to have real ones.
Knowing my luck that the short barrel shotgun attachment's probably illegal in my state anyway, and I can't have it because I can't have any fun stuff.
Womp womp.
Well, as far as things being free, quote unquote, I hate to be the Debbie Downer, but I think the reason why they've gotten away with it is so then that way they can try to make it come back at a higher price.
Grit and Grace, good evening.
And it's still not free. You're still giving up your right to search and seizure any time of the day and night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Groundberg, good evening.
Quote unquote. But yeah. And I think when they bring it back, it'll fucking cost more.
And what's the deal with that stuff either? Some of that stuff you can't go across state lines with, right?
You just got depending on you gotta
SBRs you have to
know. You gotta let somebody know.
Yeah. ATF has a form you fill out for it. Or you don't, and you just hope nothing happens. The pull-out method. Let's see.
So you
were
gotta
saying
be able to
Smith and
pray
Wesson.
good.
Yeah, you said Smith and Wesson announced a new old
Yeah,
revolvers. I'm not seeing
yeah.
it, but
They were the model 386 and the 396 Night Guards. They feature an ultralight scandium frame, smooth trigger, baton grips, and upgraded endurance package.
yeah. That's good. They're bringing those back.
If anything I know about scandium frames is they break your goddamn wrist when you go shoot them. But they're
Have you been
ultralight and
You've been shooting the 629.
they're ultralight and they're
Scandium.
comfortable to carry.
The 340 and 360 PDs, the 357 5-shot J frames, little pocket scandium guns. I have not had the opportunity to shoot one myself, but I've heard many stories. Guys basically relate that it's like sticking their palm in front of a pitching machine and just waiting to get smacked.
Yep.
We've sold so many of those used over the years where a guy will buy one and shoot like a cylinder or two and be like, screw this.
And be like, nope.
Yeah. Well, and talking to one officer, he said, his agency makes you qual with your backup gun. You can provide it, but you've got to shoot a full course of fire with the load. And so he had intended to like, qual with 38s and then carry 357s. But he said, I guess when he was traded in, he said, last year is the last time I'm doing that. He said, I'm done doing that. It hurts. He said, I'm getting old now. It hurts.
Well, even having a fucking putting through an amount that's like qualifications for most places, even at 38 with that style frame, like it's gonna hurt you after a while because there's a lot of rounds that you got to put down range.
Yeah.
And it's not a user friendly platform.
Or even something like a little J frame like that. I mean, a 50 round course of fire to qual with your backup gun, you're tender by the end of
50
that.
rounds? That's not too bad. But still, I mean, it's not nothing. But I figured it would be at least in the hundreds.
No.
Yeah, try shooting 50 rounds of 357 through one of those scandiums. You'll be crippled.
The qualification standards here are pretty low. I mean, the barrier is set higher for like the SWAT teams and stuff, but no, your regular beat cop, the average one is not a gun person necessarily. Maccabeus, what's up? Would you like a link? We're just talking about guns and stuff, the new SHOT Show releases, what people have seen, what's interesting to them.
So what's the
Just
deal
shoot
with
the
the new
breeze.
Gen 6s?
They feel good. To my surprise, they've been trickling in ones and twosies, but they don't fly out as fast as I thought they would. We managed to keep a couple in the shelf for days and days.
My local's only now been able to kind of keep them around for the whole first beginning of it. Like that's why I waited so long to go pick mine up because he was letting the whole county finger bang mine.
Well, and the epiphany I just had after speaking my previous statement out loud, I think I know what it is. I think everybody was waiting, one, to see what comes out of SHOT Show, and two, even the Glock fanboys, those people that normally would chase the newest Glock, I think they're trying to sort out if the new Gen 6s are neutered or not, which the reality is they have all of the V series features as far as the guts. So if you were mad at Glock capitulating, or in your eyes you see it as capitulating to those lawsuits, then you still wouldn't want a Gen 6.
I'm gonna be pissy if it takes them more than a year to drop to release those drop-in triggers. So that's when I'm gonna fully give up on them. So they got 1 year left in my book.
I would expect it to take time because at launch of the G44, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, they promised 15-round mags were in the works, and those have never materialized. Those have been vaporware.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Thanks. Yeah, I think I'm about ready to just completely freaking. If I didn't, you know what I got mine at, so that's probably the biggest reason why. And then especially after he told me letting the whole county finger my stuff, he gave it to me even cheaper. So
Well, get a
I mean,
real gun anyway. Get a SIG. SIGs are better.
I'll tell you offline what I got mine at, and you'd be like, "Well, I probably have bought that too."
Probably. Like
Yardbirds.
I want to get some 22 handguns, but I can't justify the permit here in New Jersey.
Getting a little echo. Somebody got their computer going too.
So wait, you need a damn so you need a permit for every single handgun?
Yep, need a permit for every handgun
That's
and one handgun per month.
oh yeah, that's so because you know as soon as you get a 22 pistol, you're gonna be like, son of a, I really want that. Damn it.
I mean, geez, yeah, I would have one of those Rough Riders by now.
Yeah, there's-
Y'all saw
I got a
Keltec's
bunch-
new release,
I got a
right?
bunch just because I find them used all the time for like nothing, so I buy them for the kids. What was that?
Keltec's new release. They were teasing photography of centerfire ammo on stripper clips, and I really thought it was going to be a 9mm, and then discovered this morning it is not. So their PR-57 from last year, the stripper clip fed 5.7 pistol.
Oh yeah.
Think that and a P3AT had a baby, and they're doing a 13+1 or 13 round. I guess there wouldn't be a +1. I guess there could be +1. Anyway, 13 round stripper clip fed 380.
380.
Yep. So like imagine just a skosh bigger
I
than like
swear
an LCP Max.
they do some goofy ass shit as a company, and then they turn around and then they do something that I like, and then they do like 5 more things that are just like, what are you guys doing?
Well, they make stuff that other people don't dare do. I appreciate the ingenuity. I just am disappointed by the execution because it's all of the stuff that they make feels like it's put together with bubble gum and super glue.
The only
I do like my
Keltec worth
sub, though.
having
I
is
do
the
like
sub
my sub.
2000.
I do like my subs though, and they're a hell of a lot more durable than I gave them credit for. Like, I haven't broken one yet, and I'm not the most gentlest person.
I mean, I'd rather have the what's that, the FPC or whatever from Smith & Wesson over the sub, but
I don't know. I wouldn't. It feels. All right. I guess it's the diametric opposition to the. Like it's the equal opposite. The Keltec stuff feels like cheap in that light, flimsy way, and that Smith & Wesson FPC feels cheap in that like heavy way.
the FPC or whatever it's called, it's been flawless though. Whenever I shot it, I like it. I like it a lot. I kind of
I'm
want
not saying
one.
they don't. I'm not saying that they don't shoot fine. I'm just saying they feel
Yeah,
that
I
hinge
hear you. They're a lot
mechanism is
heavier.
janky. Like the lever needs to be bigger.
They're a lot heavier too than the sub 2000.
They're hard to rack. Yardbirds in the chat said, just got back from the range. The sights of my Glock 20 Gen 3 are way off, and it's hard to adjust them in that dovetail. Ordering new ones right now. The plastic factory sights are known to get bumped pretty easily. The front sights will sometimes snag on something and shear off because it's just a little plastic peg with a screw running up through the bottom, and then the rear sights will bump in that dovetail. Chances are, if the rear sight is mechanically centered, it's probably you, not the trigger, or not the sights. If you're right-handed and you're shooting low and left, definitely if you're not shooting a fist-sized group at like 5-7 yards, it's you. Like if it looks like buckshot splattered all over the target, it's something you're doing. If it's grouping a tight group, but it's not grouping where you mean for it, it might be the sights. That's me diagnosing without seeing anything, without seeing your groups or seeing your gun. But 9 times out of 10, when somebody says their sights are off on a Glock, it's them.
Going back to the
TMT, you got a link, brother. Like
that's
you just
the
got-
Smith and Wesson versus the Keltec. The I like them both because they skirt the law here, and they're considered an other, and we're allowed to have them because they're magazines in the pistol grip.
Okay.
So we're allowed to have that fold up like that here.
Goofy state laws for the win.
Yep. So they make a good backpack gun.
I've got one
Mine
dimension.
get-
It's
mine
not
gets-
necessarily
mine
a
gets
new for
folded
SHOT
up.
Show.
Mine gets folded up, thrown in bags, thrown in the back of the side by side, freaking bumped out of the back of the side by side. You know, I like how small of a footprint it goes down to.
Yardbirds, just make the gun unloaded and just give it a tap with a hammer. I mean, like a Delrin mallet, if you've got that, or even a rubber mallet, like just a light tap, that'll pop that sight just a little. But by all means, if you're using the plastic sights, absolutely take this as an opportunity to upgrade to some real usable steel sights. TMT is backstage. Let's get him on here.
Sub 2K, baby.
All right, so before we get back on the which PCC train, same train of thought, but I got one to tell you all about. So not necessarily new for 2026, but GeForce, they're an importer out of Nevada, I think. Bringing a lot of the cheap, shitty Turkish
Taurus
shotguns.
one?
No, it's not Taurus. It's GeForce Arms. I'm telling you. Let me be Honda for a second. Cut you off. Let me finish my thought. They mostly bring in the cheap, shitty pump and single shot shotguns. They also do some break barrel single shot, like 350 Legends, 400 Legends, which have been popular sellers for the guys here in Arkansas that don't want to shoot a muzzleloader anymore, but also can't see themselves spending $500, $600, $700 on a new bolt action to use it only 2 weeks a year. Turns out that they're doing some 9mm PCC stuff, 9mm ARs. So they're a poly lower, Glock mag fed with a blowback, 9mm AR upper. Got the charging handle up in the front of the handguard, and it's reversible, left side or right side, non-reciprocating, and they're $400. Come with a little Ace of brace, adjustable brace. Anywho, we got one of those in, and I was skeptical at first, but after playing with it, it's kind of neat. It's got their own AR-15 pistol grip design that has a mag catch in the grip, so you can run your mag in the gun, like in the mag well of the lower, but then you can carry a spare in the AR pistol grip, so you can have 2 mags on tap. So that was new. That was new to me before we got one in, just to kind of sniff it out. And anyways, it sold. Had mostly favorable information from the guy that bought it. Other than he said he could wiggle the mags and some of them come out. That may be something where the mag catch on the lower needs more tolerance. Maybe it doesn't like extendos. I don't know. But ACR, you want a link? You can talk guns too. You buy one
That
set
is
here.
exactly like Honda. Go on a 10-minute spiel and then cut me off, and then we can't talk again.
You can talk now. I just wanted to finish the thing that I was trying to talk about.
I love you. What's the name of that little Taurus like pistol with a little flipper stock on it?
I don't know, because I've still not actually even seen it. Everybody keeps talking about it.
I see a lot of people that want to FRT it for like a super subcompact kind of pistol PCC hybrid.
Open another tab and Google it, and then you can report back and give us a skinny. That's kind of what I'm delineating task
All right,
out to
I got
everybody. Like if you're excited about it and you want to talk about it, you Google it and then tell us about
I'm
it.
looking it up right now, Dad.
Roger that.
Yeah.
Eduardo Espinoza says PSA 57 looks neat. The one that they showed off last year again, or do they have a new one?
It's the Taurus GX4. That's why I thought that's what you were talking about. It's like very similar to what you just said.
They've had the GX4 out for a while. That's the gun I had in my fanny pack video. I've already parted with.
Yeah,
They're doing that with
they
a
had it with a
PDW.
model with. Yeah, they got like it's a Strike Industries folding stock on it.
Okay. So it's a new chassis because those guns are like the P365. The grip module is replaceable if you're brave. Taurus has not, at least previous to now, had not gotten into it. But all right. So there you go. If you want your PDW on the cheap-ish. I wonder if they're only selling that as an OEM configuration. The GX4 Strike Bravo, they're calling it. Golf X-Ray 4 Strike Bravo. Yep. But then you gotta get into those magazines, TMT. You excited to get into Hot Glock mags? Oh, lost Fiend Dog. Did we lose me or is everybody quiet? What's going on?
No, I'm here. I just don't have much to say about guns because I'm so salty from being sick home.
We got Fiend Dog back.
Sorry about that. I kicked myself trying to look up something.
It's all good. Yeah, if you stay gone too long, it closes on you.
The
That's about all you can do.
the new Mossberg 590R chisel looks cool.
Yeah. Chisel machine stock.
Yeah, man, that thing's kind of sweet. I can see myself getting one of those. I'm kind of
Good,
getting back into the shotgun scene.
They feel good on the Berettas. You know, they came out with them on the Beretta 1301 last year. And they feel good, like they balance the gun out and they shoulder okay. They're weird in like the stowed position though.
Huh.
The one that folds. You know, for the Beretta they make one that's rigid, then they make one that folds. It's like another $100, $150.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. My one shotgun folds off to the side there. It's legal here in Jersey for shotguns to do that because they're not semi-auto.
Yeah. Mainly off grids in the house. V show intel.
What up, mainly?
Mainly, thanks for sending some subs my way. Sent some cool cats over. I appreciate that. And they made sure to name drop you that you sent them, so I appreciate that. We're talking SHOT Show, new releases, new stuff. What's everybody after? What are they into? What have you heard about? What excites you? Let us
I
know
haven't
about
seen
it.
anything yet. I'm saving it for my chat tomorrow.
Now,
I feel like I'm in that FUD status where I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna see anything that I really care about. You know, I'm like that pre-Christmas disappointment. Like you're not gonna get that thing, no matter how good you were all year. You know, because it's super expensive. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm just like there. You know, it's kind of a weird feeling, but
I don't want for a whole lot, at least not until somebody invents something I didn't know I wanted.
Right. Like maybe the only thing interesting to me is if Glock announces their AR and they have one in an AR pistol would be the only thing that's I'd like to own a Glock long gun. But it'd be nice to let the can live on there next to the bed too in pistol form.
I understand the fandom. I think Shot Show is going to be a knowledge, like an. I'm going to be overwhelmed trying to consume.
I feel like a Glock AR pistol is just holding your breath like a fish. Like it's just one of those things. I don't know. I don't ever see it happening.
I don't see them pulling that out of their back pocket until there's another run on guns. Right now, financially, it does not behoove them to get into ARs. PSA and the Bear Creeks of the world have drugged down the price of ARs. Have saturated the market. Everybody's got 3 or 4. So there, unless you're like a clone builder or you're after that like really fancy, nth degree better for triple the money, quadruple the money, people aren't buying ARs right now. And with Ruger acquiring Anderson last summer, Ruger has snuffed out one of the larger AR lower manufacturers that OEM'd for a lot of the industry. And that move, I think, was less because Ruger cares about selling more ARs as much as it was denying the rest of the industry the source. That was something that Remington did. Remington snuffed out a lot of the, I wouldn't say mom and pop, but like the boutique, small, higher end AR manufacturers during Sandy Hook, because they threw their buying power into it. They're like, look, you're gonna, whichever foundry they were buying receivers from, they're like, look, you're gonna like sole contract to us right now, or we'll take our business elsewhere. And I know that there was a place out in Oklahoma that made some higher end ARs at the time, but kind of small batch, and they got snuffed out. Couldn't get lowers.
I wish Geisley Super Duties would go down in price because I really want one of them. I've been drooling over those for a while now.
And if they weren't winning so many military and police contracts, I think they probably would settle down. But if you wait and catch them on sale, you can get some good deals. They do blims, and then they do, for Independence Day, for Labor Day, Fourth. I already said 4th of July. It's Independence Day. Like any major federal holiday, if you're really serious about wanting one of those, have that money in your back pocket or have that credit card ready, whichever, and just spam refresh on their website. They'll go live. They'll do some pretty intense
I was
discounts.
probably just going to trade my Bear Creek up straight for a Geisley Super Duty. I figured.
I had one of my friends call me yesterday that lives out Honda's way, and he was like, I'm thinking about selling some of my stuff and like consolidating into one good Daniel Defense because they're good. And while I know he's sincere about wanting to consolidate, I think it's also that Daniel Defense has attained a lifestyle brand reputation. Like upper middle class guys that aren't really gun people buy Daniel Defense as like guys used to buy Browning or whatever.
Yeah,
they buy it.
They buy it as you buy it and then go out, put some rounds through it, make sure it functions, and then you don't got to worry about it.
Not to say that there aren't serious users that have them, or that there aren't people that shouldn't spend that kind of money on a gun, spend money on that. But by and large,
if you had to buy one,
they've become a lifestyle brand.
Geisley's made right here in Pennsylvania too, which is awesome.
Yep, they are. And I understand Bill Geisley's a pretty salt the earth dude. well, we're losing the momentum. I'm trying to be all woo excited and shit, but
Well, I'm excited for the Great American Outdoor Show that's about to happen February 7th through the 14th.
I'd take a Ruger RXRM optics ship. That'd be cool. If they could come in at a pretty cheap price point, like maybe $50 more, and just plan on selling the quantity to make up the price, I'd probably buy one for $350. Just saying.
The Great American Outdoor Show will have all the brand new guns that just came out there too. You can finger fuck and all that stuff, so that's pretty cool.
yeah.
And you get to meet all the different mom and pop shops that do all the leather and all that stuff. So you get some good deals on leather holsters and all that.
When is that, in February?
Yeah, February 7th through February 15th. It's the whole week. And they have famous fishermen, Jimmy Houston, Bill Dance. I'm looking forward to going there to look for crossbows.
There you go.
Is PSA finally releasing that 870 clone? Well, it's like 870 mixed with a Mossberg clone.
That's what we were talking about before you got in here.
Late to the party there.
Sorry, I missed it.
Well, is that from PSA?
Yeah, they had a concept vote last year, but it didn't make the cut.
Well, yeah, they had it already, and then they've been developing it allegedly this whole time because they just did a YouTube tease on it, saying yeah, it's coming, but they have like 7 different teams going right now with things that are coming. So, I mean, if it takes you a year to develop and stock it all up, it better come out fucking running correctly, in my opinion.
Everybody and their grandma is coming out with a silencer. That's going to be like the trend for this year is going to be silencers, subsonic ammo. If they already make it and they're going to put a threaded barrel on it.
Yeah. We're going to see the price of cans go down because the market's saturated, just like the AR market.
I think you'll see do the same thing as the AR market, and that there's a race to the bottom price point, and then there's the cutting edge stuff is way up here. So like you'll see cheap 30 cal cans for $200-300, and then you'll see the fancy ones that they've put all the R&D into the flow dynamics and cooling and extra ventilation and maximizing the use of the space, and the space age materials and manufacturing, cutting edge manufacturing or whatever. And those will go up. I mean, there's already been a price increase on the stuff that already existed. The nice stuff that already existed has all gone up for this year.
So what's the point of these bolt action handguns I've been seeing?
Probably has to do with somebody that lives in a state with gay ass laws.
Oh, it's so you can have rifle calibers and pistols, and then it'd be really quiet.
Yeah, Ventress models.
Just seems a little silly to me. That's all.
Remington and
It's a big
Savage
thing
have
out
done
here
those
because
for
there's
years.
nothing to do in Nebraska, so a lot of people shoot like hand reloads through their Ventress guns.
TMT, you'd be one of those guys back in the 70s wear the cowboy jeans and they'd like lay down in the grass or whatever, and I can't even explain the pose, but like they had this way that they'd lay funny with like one elbow cocked and rest their head on it, and then like shoot off their straight leg.
Yeah, like a man.
Like a fruity man. Like a fully dressed centerfold
Still a
model.
man.
I can see him doing that.
We really have 4 people watching. We're like watching paint dry.
We'll keep having these long pauses.
Yep. Anthony, what new gun for 2026 are you excited about? What Pew or Pew related thing?
Keltec, Keltec Sub 2K Gen 3. That's it. That's the only thing on my buy list this year.
That you know of so far. There's a whole week for you to find out about something you didn't know existed. There may be a Keltec Sub 2000 Gen 4.
I want to start getting into the 22
Release
game.
press.
I want to start getting into some of those 22s, like with all the competition triggers and all that type of crap.
Yeah. Like a bolt
I have an
gun.
interest.
Mine in an aspirin at 100 yards.
I have an interest in that.
I do see myself this year dumping some money into the 22s. Just because, fucking, why not?
Why
No,
not?
the kids are, like my son shoots 22 all the time, so why not? The girl will be not very far behind them.
Nice and cheap.
Huh?
Nice and cheap to shoot.
Well, yeah, there's cheap to shoot, but like, I mean, even my favorite one, like there's some big bucks already built into that build, dumped into that build. But I mean, at least the ammo's cheap enough.
I also want to get into the 22 Magnum game.
No,
Critters.
17 inch MR. I do that before 22 Magnum. It's a better ballistic bullet, and you can still use it to drop 2-legged critters.
And what round is that you just said to me? You broke up.
17 inch MR. It's about to be a legal rimfire cartridge here for Turkey, I think.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I've seen them. It's just you can't find the ammo anywhere around here. Or it's very expensive when you find it. So I like the
It's not any more expensive than 22 Magnum.
Henry makes a nice 22 Magnum pump action that I like.
Mm-hmm.
The thing's badass.
And they're going to have that in a threaded barrel. Henry's got a whole new lineup of their lever actions too. The standard 22 lever action, the model H001. They have those in an X model coming. I haven't seen pictures yet, but I've seen where the distributors have them listed.
Yeah, I was
So be looking for that.
They got a bunch. Henry's got a bunch of. They're not the only guys out there. There's a lot of people. So yeah, there's a lot of validity to what you said earlier with this year being like the year of the threaded barrel.
Yep, Henry's coming out.
It's starting to get
Tactical
to
22s.
within the next couple of years. It'll be kind of standard for everything to have a threaded barrel on it, unless you don't want one.
Yep.
I kind of want that Marlin in 10 millimeter.
All the old guys that are stealing wood will just have to cope and seethe some more. The same ones that always come in. Why is everything coming plastic now? They're really going to be. They're mad. They're mad that guns don't come with iron sights anymore. The rifles don't. When they're going to put a scope on it, anyways. And now they're going to be. They're going to be the same way about everything being threaded barrel and.
What's up with this
Tactical.
ugly ass threaded barrel?
Don't have time to redo this. Now I can figure out how I'm gonna fix this.
Yeah, that 10 millimeter Marlin is pretty hot too.
Yep.
I wish they'll come back out with the 35 Remington and the Marlin and 35 Remington again.
My understanding, talking to a customer that asked for that same thing years ago, he said that he called and spoke to somebody in customer service at Ruger, and they promised that all of the classic calibers that they had offered them in before, that they intended to eventually offer them again. But they're also a business, so they have to work in order, they have to expand that catalog of offerings
Instead of buying
in a
stadium,
fashion that makes sense, that's profitable. And it's till they get to the point where they've saturated the market with 4570s and 3030s and all that. Like, I don't think you'll see 35 Remington come back because it's not a straight wall cartridge, so it doesn't satisfy any of the straight wall states.
Yeah, it's one of the historic best whitetail rounds you can get because if you believe brush guns. But yeah, I understand. I understand what you mean.
Hey, chat, is my audio bad or is it just Justin?
It's been just Justin.
Hornady Levolution is the best brush gun if you want to have a lever action. For knocking that whitetail 200 yards, if you can't have a scope and you need a 30-30, it's the Hornady Levolution.
You not living in woods, I don't think you understand what people use a brush gun for.
Hey, I have woods here. I hunt the river.
The woods, boy. You're all flatland, plains. You're in the Great Plains out there.
I got one of the biggest rivers besides the Missouri.
The concept of a brush gun is that it punches through the brush. So I would not use a ballistic tipped bullet for that venture. Although the concept of shooting through brush is also not, I wouldn't say it's not poor sportsmanship, but it's poor gun safety. Because you gotta see that tough to brown.
Woods and get in that cornfield. Just saying, you will get on the edge and you get that shot.
Yeah, but you don't want something that's deflected by like foliage. Anyways, Hornady Lever Revolution ammunition is fine, especially for extending the range and flattening the trajectory of those historically rainbow arc shooting cartridges.
Remington Corlock for the win.
Whatever, get your weird 35, whatever Fiend Dog was talking about. Then you can bring that crap back.
It dates back to the Remington Model 8. It's older than your grandfather.
And you could take elk down with that gun.
Yeah, you can take everything with it. My uncle has a Marlin in 35 rim that he traded an SKS for. My cousin Texas Heart shot a whitetail and it ran further than they liked, and so he traded that SKS thinking that it was an EMIC. Turns out if you don't try to shoot something the full length of its body, they die quicker. You wanted something a little more soup. And now that 360 Buckhammer is out and available and being loaded by everybody, most everybody.
Yeah, what is that Buckhammer round?
It's basically 35 Remington, but tuned up just a little, and it's straight walled, so it satisfies all these straight wall states.
Gotcha.
It's literally 30-30 brass drawn out straight, and then they stick a 36 caliber bullet in it, a 3.58.
I'd like to go back on that Taurus question you were asking me because I couldn't answer it at the time. No, I do not want to switch off Glock mags, but I think it's an interesting concept for somebody trying to get into that tight. They want an extra form of contact to themselves pistol. Maybe like an old lady who can't afford, doesn't want a shotgun for home defense, but maybe would do that, like a light laser combo.
I don't recommend shotguns to little ladies for home defense, anyways.
I knew a gal who shot a southern of the border man with some birdshot in her husband's old double barrel 12 gauge. They found him in a hospital about 200 miles away with a super infected shoulder.
Yeah, I'm not saying that you don't. I'm not saying you won't use what you got. I'm not saying that. But like when somebody comes in, when an old lady comes in purposefully buying her first gun or buying something for that, while 22 is not even my first option, when I consider that grandma has loss of dexterity and strength issues and whatnot, like I'm not ever excited to put a little elderly woman into a shotgun. Sometimes
that's
somebody
what I was
comes in and they
saying.
tell you that that's what they want, and that's fine. The customer's right, but
That's why I was saying that little 9 milli with a stock on it would be kind of slick for like an apartment defense gun or a old lady gun, you know.
with a brace, we don't call them stocks here. TMT.
Oh, right. Brace. There's a brace. My bad.
There's more material out of the center.
What type of 410 shotgun do you guys suggest for like squirrel hunting and rabbit hunting?
I use a 22 like a man.
No, I'm not allowed to in this state.
Through.
Then don't go squirrel or rabbit hunting.
It's whatever you want. I don't.
My age.
I don't know if you knew of any that were better than others. That's all.
I mean, shotguns are pretty well figured out.
Just use a 12 gauge. You'd be all right. You already got the 12 gauge, right? Just run some dove/squirrel load through it. You're
Yeah,
fine.
that's what I do now. But I'm just saying, I was thinking about getting one just
You
so.
want something a little lighter and handier and doesn't have the whole squirrel.
Exactly.
Those old ones, those old long barrel guns with fixed full chokes, you know, they give you the most of the accuracy that you would have out of like a 22 rifle with a little margin of error. But then obviously you're not worried about the shot going for 2 miles. You know, you're not shooting guns up in the air. Worried about it coming down on somebody on the interstate 2 counties over.
Really? Didn't I want to say somebody was it that tourist judge or maybe it was that Raging Bull? Somebody put a stock like one of those old school cowboy pistols with those old wood stocks. I want to say somebody made a modern take on that with one of the newer revolvers that could shoot the shotgun shells and the 45 long Colt, but I don't know if it's like a product.
It's the Rossi Circuit Judge, which is literally just a tourist judge with a long barrel and a buttstock. That's what you're talking about, I imagine. Those have been out for over a decade.
There you go, Fiend Dog. Get that. That's kind of a cool little piece.
They have the rifled barrel so that they're not an NFA item, and then they take a screw-in choke.
Rossi's are usually pretty good on the wallet too, so
They've got they're 6.5-ish here. They shouldn't. I can't account for like how much more margin there is in guns wherever you're at, but I can tell you they shouldn't list for much more than that.
Yeah, I have a Rossi. I paid $150 for a Rossi RS-22, and that fucking thing is money.
Now that I know your expectations, you should really like that Rossi Circuit Judge.
So for real,
Rossi really came up in price though that last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
that RS-22 that I have, it's lights out deadly accurate, man. Believe it or not. It loves Winchester white box. Any other brand, it's little. It opens up quite a bit, but with Winchester white box, it's a dime to a quarter.
There you go.
I did a test with it one afternoon with like 8 different brands.
Mm-hmm.
I was glad that it likes the cheap shit.
It's important that people know to do that, to invest that little bit of money on the front end and try their new specimen of a particular make and model with a variety of ammunition and find what it does and does not like, so that way the stuff that it does like, and this goes for any caliber, any gauge, handgun, rifle, shotgun, it's important to do that, so that way, one, you know what it shoots best and you can try and buy that, but two, if there's something that it really doesn't like or that it doesn't function on, come times of panic, to not piss your money away buying that ammo. Because
I just gotta make.
while you would
Go
think that
ahead.
your device that takes AA batteries should just work on all AA batteries, unfortunately, guns and ammo, sometimes there's just some incompatibilities, even though both the box ammo and your gun are engraved the same caliber. Sometimes they're just, and a lot of people are not gun people enough to care to ever learn those eccentric details, and that's unfortunately a lot of what stuff gets sent back for repair for. And there's not really technically anything mechanically wrong with this, this Taurus pistol or whatever. I mean, most manufacturers anymore of guns will have a list of ammo they don't recommend rather than a list they do. And certain calibers are more problematic than others. You were talking about getting into the 22 Magnum game. If you get anything semi-automatic 22, the manufacturer is almost assuredly going to include in the owner's manual a list of either recommended ammo or absolutely avoid this ammo. There'll be one list or the other, and there'll be a grain weight recommendation.
Yeah, speaking about that, I know for a fact between my Mossberg 500 and my buddy's 590s, Mossberg does not like NSI brand 2 3/4 12 pellet double aught buck. It will failure to eject them every time.
I'm not even familiar with that brand. It must be some sort of cheap import, like some Turkish or.
No, it's an Italian brand. It's not cheap.
Oh, are you talking about Nobel Sport?
Yeah.
Huh.
The 12 pellet double aught buck in 2 3/4. It does not like.
That's a shit ton of pellets and double aught buck to be stuffing into only a 2 3/4 inch shell. So it's probably
it expands too much and gets stuck in the chamber.
Yeah, that's one of the things with shotguns. Sometimes, like one shotgun will shoot something fine and the other one won't. Sometimes it's the texture, like some of your plastic holes will be ribbed
Mm-hmm.
to reduce that surface area, and then others will not be, and they'll be smooth and waxy looking, and they're the ones that like stick usually.
Yeah, it's just a little tidbit there for anybody who has Mossbergs. That 12 pellet 2 3/4 double aught buck, it doesn't like to eject.
Anthony got the word that I was looking for. It swells.
That's really weird.
Yeah, it swells in there.
Another thing you could probably do is polish your chamber. I'm not saying like get at it with a Dremel and like remove material, but like take a section of cleaning rod and then like your 12 gauge brush and put you like stick a couple cotton patches on that brush, put some like polishing compound, and just sit there and just with your drill motor, like chuck it up in your drill motor and just kind of plunge in and out and buff your chamber area till it's mirror shiny, and that will aid a lot in your extraction.
Just switch to an 870 for the rest of the men out there.
Might check and make sure that both of your extractors on your Mossberg are under tension too.
The funny thing is, my cheap Black Aces tactical shotgun eats that ammo up.
That's good. Like I say, there's little gremlins and everything. But if you've got like I was saying, you've shot that ammo in both guns, and one eats it and one doesn't. So now you waste your time and money shooting it in the Mossberg. But as a fallback, you've got food for your Remington.
Exactly.
And I'd be interested to see like an evolution. Sorry, for like ammo or optics.
Um, I know
Getting back to
Fusion
the
Thermal
guys
has.
here with-
Yeah, Fusion Thermal has a new like sister brand called Wave Technologies. They're doing like compared to what the Fusion Thermal stuff costs, they're doing some cheaper optics. And I say cheaper, I mean like 4,000 and under. They're not Rattler V2 price, but they've got some that have the laser rangefinder built into them. Good question, Demo Man Don. He says, should I use low brass 12 gauge in an antique Ithaca stagecoach? I have never fired it since I got it. Make sure that it's not a Damascus steel barrel where they would make the pipe out of like twisting and fire welding it. If it looks like it's a roll of quarters, like if the barrel looks like a roll of quarters, like you can see the striations of the lines, I would get that checked out by a gunsmith before you shoot it. But yes, if it's antique, at most I would shoot low brass shells out of it, low brass 2 3/4. Wouldn't shoot any magnum loads, and it definitely won't be chambered for 3-inch. But
I've been told, and I read about all the new 870s to stay away from them. They're terrible.
I've not even touched a new 870 in over a
You
year.
just gotta go
You
the
know,
old stuff, all the Chinese crap ones.
Yeah, I was told to don't buy one unless it's from the 90s or the early 2000s.
there's snobs and everything, but yeah.
Just want to make everything cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. That's why the Turkish shotguns do so good, because everybody can walk into a gun store with $300 on them, and Joe Blow can walk out with a gun they think's good.
Aren't all
Guns that
the
work.
barrels now made in Turkey on all the shotguns anyway?
No,
Not all.
not necessarily. And it's not that just that immediately by virtue of being made in Turkey that something sucks. It's just that Turkey has become the cheapest place that you can turn out a reasonable quality product. All those European companies, particularly the Italian firms, have figured out that they could paddle across the bay, build a factory, go to ISO 9000 standards, install new machinery. You know, they put like Haas machines in or whatever, and then you only have to have like a plant manager, a couple of engineers, and 4 or 5 people with an education, and then the other guys that are there to just put raw material in and pull complete parts out. You know, they don't even have to be smarter than a 5th grader.
They just gotta be able to make sure the machine stays fed.
And they're willing to work for pennies on the dollar compared to what an Italian or German or an American is willing to do. But TMT's right. People have gotten guns have gotten cheaper to manufacture, and what people are willing to spend on guns because they have become a consumer product. Used to, people bought, you know, a guy would buy a couple guns, maybe a few guns, and then he had them his whole life. Like Grandpa had his shotgun, he had his rifle, his rimfire rifle. You know, he'd have 2 of the 3, maybe all 3 if he were really a gun guy, really a hunter. You know, and pistols weren't even super common unless you were somebody that shot, you know, recreational, like a rod and gun club. That's why those vintage handguns cost so much in their day, and that's why they go for so much now in good shape. The old Colt Woodsmans and Huntsmans, the real early Ruger Mark Series pistols, the pre-Mark one, like when it was just the Ruger pistol, because that was all they made. That's why those guns in good shape go for a lot of money. Yellow Man Butt Wrinkles, some of the Turkish shotguns are pretty all right. It's really, in current day, it's really hard to fuck up making a pump shotgun, because that's a technology that has been pretty fully explored for over 100 years. I mean, like, pump shotguns were refined before John Moses Browning died. All that anybody has done since then is find ways to make them cheaper, stronger, or smoother. But as far as like being mechanically sound, it's pretty figured out. I mean, everything that keeps, even in the auto loaders that keep coming out, like everyone's just copying off of each other's homework. And now that Benelli's patent is up, everybody's copying their inertia drive system. Some of it, I mean, literally parts interchangeable. And I still don't think there's anything wrong with the Maverick 88.
Which Benelli patent got lapsed?
The M1 Super 90. That's why you, and even now, I mean, that one's been up for a while. That's why you saw the like Retase shit come out 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Okay.
But now everybody's got their M1014 clone, the Benelli M4 clones, because that Argo system, the patent on that has expired. The auto-regulated gas operated.
Okay.
That's why you've got SDS Imports bringing in the Mac M10 14s and the Mac 1s. As far as cheap pump shotgun goes, I don't think there's anything wrong with the Maverick 88. And you still get that pride of ownership, even though they're like cheap, like they're the dollar store shotgun. At least you still have that pride of ownership that it's made in America. And then because they are so ubiquitous, there's like a plethora of aftermarket parts. If you ever wanted to like change out the furniture or sights or different barrel or something, there's options for that. It's kind of the Ruger 1022 of shotguns. I guess that's not fair to say, because the Ruger 1022 is kind of the best in class. It's like the, I don't have an example. I can't make an equivalent. It's the Maverick 88 of pump shotguns. It's like the hardware store version of the Mossberg 500.
Yeah, if I was going to buy a new one, it'd be a Mossberg 500 or the PSA one.
Man, Crash and Kev's got it. Plastic Wonder Nines are like modern SUVs. Unless you know what the differences are, they're the same. And that really, that's a lot to be, for good and bad, that's a lot to be said.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I've been, I've said it since their preview or whatever. You know, when PSA comes out with the shotgun, I'll grab one or two, depending on the price. But
I'm buying a triple barrel.
Those were cool. I've sold a couple of those. The triple threat. My mind fails me. I can't remember who the importer of those was back in the day. Charles Daly took it over. They're made in Italy. They're triple barrel 12 gauge. Single trigger, so it's just bang, bang, bang. Like the trigger resets off the recoil. So as fast as you can rip off 3 shots, like you got 3 at the ready. You got interchangeable choke tubes too, so you could set it up, cylinder bore on the top with a slug, and then do like improved cylinder or modified with buckshot or different type. Not necessarily double lock. I wouldn't run double lock buck through a modified and expect it to pattern good, but like, or excuse me, through a mod, but like number 4 buck or number 1 buck, something that's not gonna deform as much, swaging through the choke. No, they're arranged in kind of a triangular pattern. You got one on the top, 2 on the bottom. It's like a side by side with another one on top, Anthony. Almost like a drilling, like the old German drillings that would have like a rifle barrel on top and then two shotgun barrels. The business end of that looks like a whole lot of sewer pipe. The sewer pipe of pain. Justin, have you seen any behind the scenes stuff from Pistol Pete yet?
No, I've been ignoring everything. I'm salty. I've been ignoring
Okay.
everybody and everything to do with it. Just trying to rest and watching little kids shows and being sick. Like a little crybaby.
Cool. I told you should have gone.
No. Yeah. Oh well. It'll be all right.
Oh,
I'd rather
lost TMT.
I'd rather be here with the kids being as sick as they are because they're all fucked up. So it's all right. Maybe I'll probably look into going to that other thing in February that Fiend Dog was talking about. That's not too far away. I can drive to that.
It's just the northern end of the country.
Yeah, it's just like an oil change away. Like drive up there and change the oil.
It's about a 4-hour trip for me from the shore here.
I forget how long it is for me but it's about an oil change away. Nothing crazy.
So
Maybe a
for that
3 hour,
show,
3 to 4.
do you have to pre-register to get your tickets, or can you just pay at the door? That one being open to the public.
You're better off getting them pre. You can pre-buy them now, but
There
it
you
is
go,
open
Justin.
to the
Save your
public.
space.
Yeah.
It's just quicker, so you don't have to wait in a 200 and something person long line.
Yeah,
Right.
you just go to fucking scan and get through.
And I'd
And
be
you-
pissed if I drove 5 states away to get there to find out that they're at capacity and they're not admitting anybody else.
Yeah, I gotta call my buddy that lives. He lives within an hour of there, so I had to see if he's
You
planning
park
on
so
going.
far away, and then you have to get onto a school bus, and the school buses bring you there.
They shuttle you up.
That was the thing about if I go to that is, if I go with my buddy and he lives like an hour away or whatever, then we can just Uber from his house and get dropped off right at the front door.
You could do that too.
There you go. Fancy.
The last time I went, it took about 7 hours to get through the gun show part of it.
Yeah.
And then there was so much more that we didn't even get to see. It's very overstimulating.
Mm.
But it's very awesome. I highly suggest it. You can book all your hunting trips and your fishing trips there with all the vendors if you want to, if you have the money to.
The Great American Outdoor Show. February.
It's the 7th through the 15th.
There you go, everybody. If you live in the Northeast, consider the Great
It's the
American Outdoor
biggest
Show.
It's the biggest hunting, fishing, and gun expo in the country or the world or something.
It's the largest non-trade show. It's the largest
Yeah.
outdoor expo, whatever.
That makes sense. The largest non-trade.
Because SHOT Show, you're
You have
supposed
to
to be an actual industry member to get in. Like, you've got to have credentials.
Yeah, I'm. It's still amazing to me that they let YouTube people in there, but like I guess I get the reason why. But like now it's like anybody with 50 subscribers to them can fucking technically go.
Yeah, and if they get on through a company with a booth that's there, you get on as like a contractor through that brand. That's how they get all those guest speakers and shit in too. Like
Yeah.
you get
I'm
get
but
that
like
brand
I
ambassador.
just see it. I just see it like it's just like it's getting so fucking crowded. Like
Full throttles in the house.
And if you go to the Great American Outdoor Show, 5 to 10 minutes away is a brand new Academy Sports that just opened up. You can go check them out too.
Woo! Academy Sports, based out of Katy, Texas.
I do like me some Academy.
I've never
They're
been
all right.
yet.
That's one of those things. So like Rural King, Academy, like all that shit. Like they're all like I have ones in 3 different sections or like 3 different points around me, but from compared to where I live. But where I live is like either I go 50 minutes this way to go get to that one, or I go 45 minutes this way to go get to that one, or 30 minutes that way to get to that one. But if I go to the one that's only 30 minutes away, it's like, there's going to be traffic on the other way back. So it's going to take double that amount of time. That's just like, fucking A.
Academy is like a really big version of the sporting goods department at Walmart. Like a little nicer stuff.
Yeah. Like our Academy's got like guns and shit. And ammo.
Yeah. Our Walmarts have guns and ammo still here too.
Mine don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Mine has like a small display. Mine has a small display box of ammo, but like nothing handgun, obviously, because Walmart.
mine just has knives. That's it.
Yeah, like mine might have 1 or 2 pellet
I'll
guns.
have blunt tips.
Yeah, mine's got like maybe 1 or 2 pellet guns and a BB gun, and like 2 slingshots, like, and an Orbeez thing.
And coming, if you're ever in Jersey, coming this spring, the biggest Bass Pro Shop on the East Coast is opening up. Right in Sayreville or whatever that is right there.
Well, Florida's getting the newest and the largest yet, Buc-ee's. We're taking
Buc-ee's is starting to make their
number one.
Buc-ee's starting to make their way up here too.
Yeah, they are, because I think they're working on number 2 or 3 now here in Florida.
But I like Bass Pro Shops. I'll go there and spend my whole paycheck in an hour.
Where?
They're Bass Pro Shop. They're dangerous.
Our Bass Pro Shop's pretty fun.
They're dangerous.
Especially when they have events and shit. Like, they're pretty legit.
Plus, they sell like work clothes and all that stuff there too. So it's like a one-stop shop for me.
Yeah.
And especially here on the East Coast with the saltwater fishing, they have all that good stuff there.
Yeah,
it's not just freshwater.
Yeah, and ours got like boats and side by sides and like all.
Yeah. As of right now, the only one in New Jersey is in Atlantic City, and this one's triple the size of it or whatever that they're building.
Oh yeah, they're gonna make it a destination spot and freaking make it huge. So that way, when everybody comes there, it's like give them a reason not to spend money. Like you you came all the way this way. Like, guess what? We got a little bit of everything. Buy something.
Yeah, have any of you guys ever been to Jersey before?
No.
So I
don't
say
want to hurt your feelings.
If you're on the Parkway, before you get on, it's right there right at the Driscoll Bridge on the Parkway before you get to the Turnpike to go to New York City. Yeah, New York
It's
City's
against
like
my religion to go to New Jersey.
New York City's an hour away. Philly's an hour away. Atlantic City's 45 minutes away.
A lot of places within an hour.
We'll be down in DC in 3 hours. It's a shame.
That new Buc-ee's is like 76,000 square feet of just retail space, not including the
Awesome.
hundreds of gas pumps and all that stuff.
That's awesome.
I mean, like, and I've heard rumors about one more coming a little bit closer to me. Like, they actually pay their people pretty decent. Like, I was joking with my wife. I was like, I'll go be a manager at Buc-ee's. It's just mindless work.
Hey, if you're up here, Costco
Old man
pays $35.
Yeah, like
Old man Buttwrinkle said, if I'm ever in Jersey, I will have been kidnapped. Anthony, have a good evening. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, Costco pays $35 an hour up here.
yeah, I was gonna say like some
They
managers
go
at
stock
Buc-ee's
shelves.
are hitting $100,000 not doing nothing. Literally.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot more to it than what you're thinking there with all the paperwork they got to do as a manager.
Yeah, that's pretty much that's
'Cause you know how that goes. If the manager sucks, the stores go downhill quick.
yeah.
You got to rule with an iron fist in retail.
Yeah, you're right.
That's
I
one
mean,
of the last.
my mom owned a hardware store growing up, so I know how it's done.
That's one of the last fields that is not a trade that you can still actually make some really good money in without having a degree.
And I'll tell you what, I don't see Buc-ee's getting hit by AI too hard right off rip.
But yeah,
Yeah,
well,
No
you
matter
both,
how good all that goes, like they still got to pump people through there, and like almost 80,000 square feet of just food and bullshit. Like
it's
Well,
not
and
like
AI's not going to keep the shitters clean. That's what Buc-ee's is known for.
and I was gonna say, like, yeah,
it's not like you guys have gas attendants like we do up here.
huh?
So you guys don't have gas attendants like we do up here in New Jersey.
I don't know what the hell
Nope,
that is.
we pump our own gas.
It's illegal to pump your own gas here unless it's a diesel.
I understand, but it's not here.
And I love it. It's so much better. Fuck that getting out and pumping your own gas like you're in a third world country.
Yeah, but how much is your gas per gallon?
It's $2.50 a gallon.
Oh, here you go.
Who the hell's eating the cost of all this crap about homeboy pumping your gas in?
CCI, CCI Hunter and Golden Boy ammo. Henry and CCI are collaborating on some bulk boxes of copper-plated hollow-point ammo.
So what for the gas tax? Your gas would be $2 a gallon right now.
And they've got a line of Hunter Subsonic.
I figured that you guys' fuel would be a little bit higher than that, considering they got a fucking man to fuel pumps.
Yeah, the people that pump our gas get was it $16 an hour, $17 an hour? That's minimum wage.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not guns. It's not SHOT Show.
So is there any like new wave top of the line ammo coming out?
All the time.
I wish they'll go back to the old style 10 millimeter that actually was powerful.
There's still some of that to be bought if you're willing to pay for it. I mean,
Yeah, Underwood, right? Buffalo Bore and Underwood seems to be the two top, or Minuteman.
HSM, Hunter Shack Munitions.
All three of those
do
are
some
pretty
pretty naughty
heavy
stuff.
Yeah, all three of the ones that you mentioned are pretty heavy, though.
And then Federal loads some like in their premium line. They do a 190 grain HST. And it's not too slouchy. I mean, it's a people bullet, so it's not a dangerous game bullet. But I mean, there's multiple loads out there that are still soupy.
So I like those hard cast bullets.
Hard cast bullets, Buffalo
Like
bore.
Like the Buffalo Bore or the Bear Load.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's because if I'm carrying, I'm going to be carrying because I'm out in the woods. That's why.
Specialist done for that. Okay, gentlemen.
Most of the time.
Signature blade, signature style. But today we're making it firmly.
My 10mm only holds 7+1.
Scottish dirt. Dave Baker's bear. Who was that? Blade Smith's your first round challenge.
So is 5.56 ever going to go down?
Not as long as the Russia Ukraine thing is going on.
Cheapest I've seen 223 is 39 cents.
I'll buy some at 39 cents.
I'm getting. Let me see here. Do math.
Some PMC, some South Korean stuff.
I've been shooting a lot more. That's why I've been shooting a lot more of the carbines and stuff too. Is because
about 42, 43 cents around right now.
Every time I go to pick up ammo, it's like, oh, this 9mm cheap as hell. Why not?
Yeah, 9mm like what, $10 a box now.
Even cheaper if you buy 5,000 rounds.
Couldn't be much cheaper. Not and be good ammo.
I like the 124 grain.
Yep. That's the right answer.
And this one brand that I have is super spicy too. This Gecko ammo. You notice a difference when you're shooting that versus other brands for some reason. Higher pressure.
This will not move very quickly and very quickly. Very much worried about when on time. I think the material is larger.
Yep. Awkward pause.
Cheesecake. But it's done right. It's great. But it's so easy not to right.
So have you seen any other new stuff coming out?
No, I tried to scour on lunch and see what I could find, but there wasn't much out yet. Of course, the first day is always industry range day, so everybody's there. This time
They're having fun
there'll
too.
be a plethora of footage, I'm sure. Booth reviews and stuff where people show announce all the new products, show the lineups.
You ever gonna go out there to SHOT Show? Or have you ever been to SHOT Show?
No.
You gotta tell your company to send your ass out there for you.
Someday maybe.
If you're in the industry, it's a write-off. Hotel flights, all good.
Yeah.
Even a couple of dinners, even a few dinners if your tax person is good enough. That's why I didn't feel bad about going, because technically no one's losing money off of me not going.
Right. The issue right now, if I were to go, would be the loss in labor.
And it's working well, but it's starting to turn playing again. And in my mind, I'm like, that looks pretty cool. But I realized, and start.
Yep. Is your guys' local gun shows as lame as everywhere else up here now?
Pretty much.
Well overpriced everything.
COVID. Since COVID, nothing's the same.
Overpriced, and the best thing you get is some jerky.
mighty fine jerky to be had.
A lot of the fishing shows around here turned into that, where it's just one giant place people sell beef jerky.
I didn't even know there were fishing shows. That's not anything I've ever.
Oh yeah, we get these giant saltwater fishing expos and all that. Fishing shows showing off all the new equipment.
That makes sense. I had just not ever considered that.
I like going down to the new boat shows. Those are always fun.
Damn it, come to think of it, yesterday was a nice flea market at one of the local high schools for fishing here, and I forgot all about it. Damn it. Usually get some good deals on some knives at those flea markets.
All right, we're closing in on an hour and a half.
Yep. And you guys got nothing to say.
Closing words, closing statements.
Nah. Past my bedtime anyway. Well, it's looking like up here in the
Congratulations on
north.
passing the test.
Thank you. I was majorly worked up. I had anxiety all day over it.
Doesn't get this hard with an album.
And I almost never get like that, but today was just brutal with it.
It's a culmination of months and months of your effort.
Yeah. 4 more months to go, then I'm done. Thank God.
I pressed it twice. It's not getting hard. If he tries to get that,
Justin, you have anything to say? Anything you want the people to know? Anywhere you want
But
them
take your
to find
vitamins.
you?
Take your vitamins.
Yep. Take your vitamins. Get that vitamin C and zinc.
If this doesn't,
Try and get some sunlight. Keep your vitamin D up.
it's over.
Stay hydrated.
Oh, yeah.
All right, then.
A White Claw is not a substitution for a bottle of water.
It really isn't.
But a Budweiser is.
I don't know about that.
Only on Fridays and
My man Don
Saturdays.
said, remember to drink your Ovaltine. More Ovaltine, please.
And if you're anywhere on the East Coast like I am, keep an eye on the weather. This weekend, they're calling for a pop blizzard of 1 to 2 feet of snow.
Yeah, I saw that. There's covering a handful of states. There's potential for it to get pretty damn nasty.
Stay warm. All right, this is Lawfully Armored Friends. Out for now.
Later.
Later.